Today we're starting off with a 2017 Toyota Sienna rear brakes, pads and rotors. Start with a 21mm impact socket. Take those lugs off. Move the wheel. I already loosened up the bolts a little bit. That's a 14mm for the caliper. Take both the bolts off. Caliper should easily come out. Set it up on something. You don't want to put tension on the brake hose. Remove the pads, both sides. Take off the caliper bracket, which are 17mm. I already loosened those, so it's easier. For this, I used a M8 by 12mm, 8mm thick, 12mm long. The rotor was a little stuck on the hub, so they have these parts on the rotor where you could stick a screw in and it'll kind of push out the rotor. It's designed for this whenever the rotor's stuck, so you could kind of slowly impact it on there. You don't want to go too crazy. It should come right off. Now we're going to clean the slide pins on the caliper bracket. When you take them off, make sure you clean them nice. This is going to be the part where your brake pads are going to slide in and out on the rotor. So you want to make sure it's all smooth. You don't want a rotor and pad to be stuck and cause problems down the road. And remember, the way you took them out of the caliper bracket, they're going to go in the same way. See, one of them has a little black ring on the tip and the other one doesn't. Make sure you don't get them mixed up. Remove all the hardware. Most brake pads come with new stainless hardware. Get yourself a soft bristle brush. I think this is a copper brush. And just clean it up. You know, you're going to remove all the brake dust and road grime. If it's really bad, spray some brake parts cleaner on there. Try not to, get the brush on those the slide pin boots. Those are rubber and can tear easily. If it tears, you have to get a new one. New hardware going on. They press easy on. Don't push it. Don't use any tools. You don't want to bend anything. It should just press nicely on. No grease here. If you guys have any questions or I missed something, please let me know in the comments. Some people like to put grease where the ends of the brake pads are going to slide in and out of those. I don't. I never have. I've never had a problem. I don't like grease where it's just going to attract more dirt and dust. I've just never done it, and it's never been a problem for me. Some Q-tips make it easy to clean inside of the slide pin holes. Clean the inside of the rubbers as well. The sealing rubbers, get all that old grease out of there. Mine's not too dirty. Everything was sealed up nice. If you guys are liking the video so far, hit the like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when my next video comes out. If it's really bad, just keep doing it till it comes out clean. These ones weren't too bad at all. Inspect your boots. Look all around. Look inside of the areas. Make sure there's no rips. These ones were good. Get you some brake parts grease. I'll put it in the description which one I'm using. And I've been using this one for years. Never problem with it. Never had swollen gaskets. So I keep using this one. I keep buying this one. You don't want it to go too crazy. Just a nice film of it, and it'll be good to go. When you press these in, give them a press in, and the boot should automatically seat the pin inside. Slide them back and forth, twist them, make sure everything's nice and smooth. Since the rotor's already on, the rotor just presses on. You don't have to bolt nothing on. The rotor just presses on. Put the caliper bracket back on the same way you took it off with the 17mm bolts. I snug them down by hand. I've never used a torque wrench on this. If you like, you could. I've never had to. Just make sure they're tight. Put the pads back on. Like I said, I don't use any grease. No grease on the pads. Nothing on the back plates. They're not noisy. Never been noisy. I don't want to have any grease to attract brake dust and road grime. For the caliper, I use, interestingly enough, a oil filter wrench. Now, there is a rubber boot around the piston of the caliper. Make sure the wrench is not hitting that rubber boot. It will rip it. It's not good. So you could use that wrench to compress the piston. Throw it back on there. Tighten up those 14mm bolts from the caliper to the caliper bracket. If you're not comfortable with the feel of how tight this is, just get a torque wrench and do it with a torque wrench. After everything looks good, nice and smooth, put the wheel back on. I do them really lightly with my impact. You don't want to tighten these wheels with an impact. I just do it lightly, and then after I set the car back down, I'll get the torque wrench out, and I'll torque them to I think the spec is 86 foot-pounds. I'll link it in the description too. That light noise is totally fine. Once you get rolling and hit the brake pedal, everything should even out. Make sure you tighten in a star pattern. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.